How you doing, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I'm doing better. This is my first video. It feels like forever that I've done a video with you guys, but still recovering from illness. But I'm doing better overall. I just want to thank you guys first of all, just for all the nice comments when I posted my community post on YouTube here, just mentioning that I was kind of out of it. I'm getting better, and I just want to thank you guys for all the nice comments. Honestly, when you step back from the channel a bit and reflect, I do this often. I'm definitely somebody who lives in gratitude when I can and don't take for granted the opportunity to do this with you guys, to talk about my most favorite hockey team in the world, Le Canadiens de Montréal, the Montreal Canadiens. There's so much competition out there, and I consider a lot of you guys peers now, a lot of the ones that I've talked to that do this stuff regularly like I do. But I just want to say thank you for the support anytime going through a bit of an illness here. And I just want to thank you. I really do. That's how I wanted to start things off. So thank you very much. Thank you to the new subscribers that have joined. Thank you for coming aboard and supporting this endeavor continuously with me here. It means a lot. I thank you very much. So with that in mind, here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about last night's game and tonight's game because it's kind of an in-between show. Arber Xhekaj dominant in the loss to the Buffalo Sabres. Primo starts versus the Penguins, kind of jumping right up to tonight's game. The Habs beat themselves versus the Sabres. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Martin St. Louis on Arber Xhekaj talking about how this was the most complete game he's seen from Xhekaj ever in the NHL thus far. Slavkovsky got 3 penalties in this game. His point streak, along with Nick Suzuki's, ends against the Sabres. And we're going to do a little Habs tank watch update, if you will. Not wishing the Habs to tank, but kind of am a little bit in case we have a chance to get a top 5 pick this year. We'll get into that. So in this video here, as you can tell, Arber Xhekaj is going to be a fairly big subject, at least for the Buffalo Sabres portion of it. Marty St. Louis talking about Arber's game last night, and it was just great to see Arber really step up. You see his goal here last night, just a nice slap shot, very similar goal that he scored last week, actually his 3rd of the season against the Sabres to open the scoring against the Sabres. And it really was a dominant game from Arber in all aspects of the game. Physically, you saw him step up and laying hits and just stepping up for his teammates, laying 3 hits in one shift on Casey Middlestat. Was it maybe 4 hits, 3 or 4 hits? I didn't like the Mike Matheson hit on Middlestat at all. It was a bad hit from behind. Actually, I don't think that one was on Middlestat. That was on Zach Benson, actually. Yeah. And then Josh Anderson came in and took exception to back up his teammate, but it was a bad hit from Mike Matheson. It was. It's not like him to make that kind of hit, but it was bad. Josh Anderson steps in, gets a roughing call. I like seeing this rivalry kind of ramp back up between the Sabres and Canadiens. I liked seeing the physicality. I liked seeing the passion between two teams who are at very similar spots. The Sabres in their second rebuild, the Canadiens in their first full rebuild. And they're both going to be looking to clash a lot more, I think, in the future, and maybe potentially in the playoffs in the future as well. Once the Sabres get back in and the Canadiens get back in, it's been a long go for Sabres fans. We all know that. But that being said, it was good to see the passion back between both teams. Slavkovsky loves playing against the Sabres, but he had himself a bit of a tough night defensively. Has to pick his spots, which I'll talk about as well. But again, wrong title. The Habs beat themselves in this one, I think, because if you really consider how it went down, I mean, they played a pretty decent first period, 1-0 lead, and then, get to the second period, and the Sabres tie it basically twice. I mean, the Jaden Strubal's goal put the Canadiens up 2-1, and then Jeff Skinner, who else, comes back for the Sabres on the power play. Now, the thing is, Yoel Armia is pretty well to blame on the Jeff Skinner goal because he came in on a shorthanded chance, and Jake Evans is just waiting there for a pass on the shorthanded chance from the Canadiens, and Yoel Armia just easily gets the puck poked away by Jeff Skinner. He comes down. Dylan Cousins puts a shot on net. Skinner gets the rebound to tie the game 2-2. And Jeff Skinner continues his dominance over the Montreal Canadiens. Skinner had to do it. And it's 2-2, right? And then you go to the third period, and the Canadiens go 0 for 4 on the power play in this game. And what happens? Well, Cole Caulfield has a very tough time handling the puck. He took a bunch of hits tonight. Looked like he was grimacing a little bit. Looked like he was a bit uncomfortable. He missed 3 days of practice for therapy. And it looks like there may be a bit of an underlying issue there because I don't know. I mean, he took some hits and he looked like he didn't really want to get hit a little bit in this game, I thought. Still registered 5 shots on goal because he's Cole Caulfield. But, eventually you see him give up the puck. Mike Matheson tries to receive a Caulfield pass at their own blue line, and, you know, Alex Tuck comes the other way and gets a shorthanded goal to eventually be the winning goal for the Sabres over the Canadiens, a shorthanded goal, which is a bit of a killer there. So, I mean, the Canadiens beat themselves. That's why I had this title up here. They beat themselves with the power play goal given up to Skinner and the shorthanded goal given up to Alex Tuck, because those were plays that the Canadiens had in their control, and they lost the puck the other way. And Slavkovsky took 3 penalties in this game, one near the end of the game when the Canadiens were on a 6-on-4. He took 3 penalties total, 2 holding calls in a row, and then took a slashing call, I think it was, near the end of the game. But either way, whatever it was, he took 3 penalties, and he needs to learn to pick his spots in terms of, playing with a lot of intensity and passion, which he was, but then it kind of crossed the line and he got penalized for it, right? So he's 19 years old still. He's going to figure that out. He's going to figure that out just like Arber Xhekaj was, right? They're going to figure it out with Slavkovsky. He's been on a tear. He's been playing very, very well. So we're not picking on him, but he's got room for improvement defensively. When he's playing with that much intensity, which he was, you have to figure out a way to make sure to be disciplined at the same time. So there's that, right? So I'm going to skip right ahead to the Pittsburgh game tonight because there isn't any lineup changes other than Caden Primo coming in for the goal to be the starting goaltender for the Canadiens versus the Pittsburgh Penguins in this back-to-back game tonight. No other lineup changes. Jonathan Kovacevic and Michael Pezzetta will remain the healthy scratches versus the Penguins tonight. But let's go to I'm title clicking happy here. And by the way, what do you guys mentioned about the audio not being synced with the video? When I'm using this software here, I'm trying to get the upload done faster. I'm not feeling that great still. So the audio may not sync perfectly with the video still. Forgive me, be patient on that. Okay, I just want to mention that too. So Habs tank watch. Well, let's bring it up here. Let's bring up the standings and actually take a look at where the Canadiens are right now before the Pittsburgh game tonight. They are sitting 26th overall in the NHL with 52 points. The Arizona Coyotes losing to the Toronto Maple Leafs last night. Matthews getting 51 goals in 54 games. I mean, respect him for that. Regular season success. It's all to you, Toronto. It's all to you. And then Matthews is a phenom in that regard, but you got to turn it into playoff victories. So anyway, just going to put that in there. But I do believe that the Arizona Coyotes and I do believe the Ottawa Senators are going to pass the Montreal Canadiens, which would put the Canadiens in 28th place eventually by the end of the season, or at worst or best, if you look at it, the Columbus Blue Jackets are at 46 points, trailing the Canadiens by 6 points at the moment. So best, worst case scenario, if you will, the Canadiens will finish 29th place, which will put them with better odds to draft 4th overall in the draft lottery this year to win the 4th spot. So we'll see what happens here. But regardless, that's where we're at for the Habs tank watch. And yeah, so there we are. The Canadiens could very well find themselves as, at worst, maybe 29th overall by the end of the season and have better lottery odds to draft a nice top 5 pick. We'll see. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I appreciate the support while I've been ill. I appreciate it very much. I don't take it for granted. I don't take it for granted at all. So thank you all really soon. Thanks for everything, guys.